And how are you?
Good, sir.
Okay. So in mathematical physics, I am going to start Fourier series. So there is actually set of 3 topics and all related to the transformation of one function into another form. Okay. So like we have a function, suppose fx. Fx is a function, and suppose this is a periodic function. This is a periodic function. And we want to write the function fx in the form of sine and cosine. Okay. So there is a function fx, and we want to write this function fx in the form of sine and cosine, and this will be written in the form of infinite series. Okay. So this function will be written in the form of infinite series. So that is called Fourier series. So that is known as Fourier series. So in one line, if anybody asks you what is Fourier series, so Fourier series is actually when we write a function fx in the form of sine and cosine and in the form of a series, that is known as Fourier series. And Fourier series will be always a periodic, will be written for the functions which are periodic. So Fourier series हम ऐसे functions के लिए लिखेंगे जिनका पहले से ही पता है कि that they are periodic in nature. So what you mean by periodic function? So suppose you have a function fx, and if I add p to the function, we again get f of x. Okay. So like if I add fx of 2p, again I get f of x. If I add x plus np, again I get fx. So such functions are called periodic function. For example, like if you have a sine function like this, so this is suppose 2 pi for this function x. So if you see after this 2 pi, if you see what will happen, this thing will be repeated in the space. Okay. So either you see it after this, or you see it after this, or you see it after this. ये function अपने आप को बार बार repeat करेगा. This function will repeat itself. So this is called a periodic function. And p, 2p, 3p, np will be the period, but p is known as fundamental period. P will be known as fundamental period. So that will be the smallest period. Okay. So जैसे suppose अर्थ जो है वो सन के अराउंड रोटेट करती है, अर्थ revolves around the sun. So suppose it covers the distance in 365 days. So it is periodic in 365 into 2 days, and it is also periodic in 365 into 3 days. तो मतलब 1 साल बाद, 2 साल बाद, after 1 year, after 2 year, after 3 year, it will repeat itself. but the smallest time in which it will repeat itself is 1 year. So 1 year will be known as principal period. Okay. So if you see sine of x plus 2 pi, you again get sine of x. Okay. So it will repeat itself after 2 pi period. Or if you see it from here, from negative to positive, sine is like this. So you can say from minus pi to pi, this is the principal, and the next will be the just the repetition like this. Okay. So Fourier series is actually whatever is hidden in the function will come out in the form of infinite series. So बहुत सारे function हैं, they are complicated in nature, but when we write the infinite series, we get what is hidden inside. So we will do some problems to understand that. This much is okay, na? This much is clear. So about the principal period or the fundamental period I have told you, this will be very important. And here we see from negative to positive, if I define, it will be minus pi to pi. Okay. So the total, this length is 2 pi. Now see,